Everyone, welcome back. So we are continuing with our discussion on MMPC 1's previous question papers, all the important topics. I had uploaded 2 videos prior to this. This is the continuation. So in case we come across again on repeated questions, I'll point out which video you will find its answers. Please go check them out. I'll not be repeatedly discussing the same answers again and again, just out of respect to everyone's time. Okay. So let us continue our discussion with the next question, that is, briefly describe and discuss the various tasks of professional manager and their relevance in the present day context. So a few of the tasks that are performed by a manager include hiring and staffing, training new employees, coaching and developing existing employees, dealing with performances problem or termination, supporting the problem resolution and decision making process, conducting timely performance evaluations, translating corporate goals into financial or individual goals, monitoring and controlling the expenses and budgets, tracking and reporting the results to senior management above him, planning and goal setting for future periods. So all these things are the various tasks. You can explain what you understand by each of these tasks or any more tasks which you might think as relevant, and give examples to underline why it is relevant in the present day context. Okay, what would happen if the manager fails to fulfill these tasks? What will happen? Okay, in present day, what could be the impact? You can write like that and answer this question. Okay, next is this define and describe what a mission is, objectives are, strategy is, policies are, and also explain the process of their formulation. So 1, 2, 3, 4 things they are asking us to define as well as describe, and then they are asking to explain the process of their formulation. So what is mission and its formulation? So mission is something which encompasses the very broad aims of the organization, and it defines what the organization strives to achieve. Okay, the process of defining a mission for any organization can be best understood by thinking about it at its inception. Okay, so an organization mission actually lies in the basic philosophy of those who create and manage the organization. So every organization will have a mission, right? And then they'll have a vision. Okay, vision is a long-term orientation and it is derived from the organizational philosophy. It represents what the organization can be in the future. So mission is like, why have we set this organization up? Okay, what is our mission? Okay, and vision is what do we aim to achieve in the future? How do we see this organization after maybe 10 or 20 years? What is our vision for this organization? So like, for example, the mission of Anu's classroom is to provide you with quality content so as to help you through MBA. But our vision is to be able to continuously provide you with all these things and expand our operations so as to give you live classes or include us and grow our community to help all the people who undertake distance education and who do not have a formal classroom experience. Okay, so that is our vision. This is our mission. I hope you understood, and I hope you guys will stay with me for achieving our mission and vision, right? Okay. So what are the components of a mission formulation? Product and service offered by the organization that can provide benefits at least equal to the price, or product and service can satisfy the needs of the customers not adequately served by others presently, or technology used will be cost or quality competitive, organization will create favorable public image, or organization will be able to satisfy the entrepreneur's needs and aspirations which he seeks to satisfy through the organization. Okay, so those are all the components of mission formulation. Next is objectives. So what is objectives? It is a future target or the end result organization wishes to achieve. Features could be, so an organization's objective or organizational objective is a future target or the end result the organization wishes to achieve, right? So some of its features could be like, it is challenging, it is attainable, it is specific but measurable, it will have a certain time limit, or it will be supportive, it will have a hierarchy or a priority, it could be flexible, right? All these things. And how do we formulate these objectives? It should clearly indicate, the objectives should clearly indicate who is to benefit from the desired outcome or the impact, right? So it could be like, it could have the environmental goals, right? Or there could be system goals like maintenance of the organization, product goals like how the product should be, derived goals like how do we utilize power in secondary areas or something like that, mission, vision, the output goals like customer needs, right? Or derived goals could also be like recruiting handicapped people or promoting social service, something like that. So that is about the objectives. The next is related to strategy. So what is strategy? Strategy is analyzing the best possible course of action to meet the organization's mission and vision. So everything is centered around the mission and vision of the organization. That is what the mission is, what provides us the objective, and that is what provides us the strategy, and that is what helps us formulate the policies as well, right? So how do we formulate this strategy? So strategy is usually examined through SWOT analysis: strength, weakness, opportunity, and threat analysis, right? And there are 3 levels of strategy: functional strategy, business strategy, and corporate strategy, right? And how do we formulate it, or what are the steps to strategy formation? First, we need to establish organizational objectives. Then we will analyze organizational environment. We will formulate all the quantitative goals and objectives in context with the divisional plans, like setting up targets. Okay. Then we do the performance analysis and select the strategy. So mission gives way to objectives, gives rise to the strategy, and it in turn provides the policies, helps in creating the policies. So creating policies for the organization ensures that operation of the organization happens smoothly, right? So when we are considering, when we are creating or formulating the policy, a few things should be kept into consideration. That is, we should ensure proper participation, organizational goals should be always kept in mind, reflect on the business environment, proper communication, consistency, and you should always make sure that policy is in writing, right? Okay, so what are the steps? First, identify which area we need policy on, right? Identify the policy area, identify alternative policies, assess the alternatives, select the most appropriate policy, test out this policy, and then finally implement it. So that is the process involved in all of their formulations. Okay, so the next question: what are dimensions and determinants of organizational culture? Explain briefly, discuss how culture and ethos are maintained by an organization. Give example. So this is a mix of a lot of different questions we have discussed in part 1 and part 2, right? So the same concepts you can implement over here to get the answer. I'm not going into detail again. Next question: describe the process of change by Kurt Lewin and explain the strategies to cope with change. Illustrate with example. Okay. So regarding what changes and what are the antecedents of change, all those things we explained already. Now in this question, additionally, we are being asked about the Kurt Lewin process of change. So that part I will focus on. Okay. So while you are writing answer for this question, you can describe about what you understand by change, what are the key drivers of change, the nature of change, and how change happens. Like what is the process? First we prepare for the change, then we begin the change process, and then we firm up to the changes in the system. Okay, and then you can say that there are different models of change, right? Like one is Kurt Lewin's model, then we have the Beer's model, Shaw's model, Adker model, Kotler's model, all these different. McKinsey's 7S model is there, Ross 5-stage model is there. All these different types of change models are available. Then what are the ways in which what could be the problems, like organizational issues which could result in a resistance to change, or organizational issues as well as the individual or group resistance issues, okay, that could provide a resistance to change. What are the strategies to overcome all these resistances? All these things you can say in short, but focus should be on the Kurt Lewin model, okay, and on how we can cope with the different strategies to change. Okay, so Kurt Lewin's model, like we said, right, the process of change is first we prepare for change, right? So whatever we are right now, however we are going right now, first we prepare the change, right? So you can think of it as like an unfreezing. We are mentally preparing ourselves for the change. So it is like a block of ice and the change may be like we have a plain block of ice. Now we want to maybe make a block of ice with a flower in it. What is the first process? We prepare for the change. How do we prepare? We unfreeze that block of ice, right? Then we change, unfreeze, and then we change. What do? The unfrozen ice water, we put it back into the ice cube tray with a flower in it, right? So that is the beginning of the change process. And then the third is firming up to the changes in the system, right? Firming up, that is freezing back, refreezing, you can say refreezing. So that is the Kurt Lewin's process of change: unfreezing, then changing, and then refreezing back. Next is on the short note questions. Once again, you just need to write 3 of them. We'll discuss all 5. So first one is types of power. Okay, so what are the different types of power? So what is power? Power is having the capacity or ability to act in certain ways or impose your will on others. So a manager will have a certain power over his subordinates, right? So it is like you can say a cyclical process. Okay, power will give rise to leadership, and that will give rise to influence, and again influence will give rise to power. So it is like a cyclical thing. Okay, so there are different types of power. We can have a personal power over someone, that is personal power, that is we might be an expert in something, that is we might have the power of knowledge. Or referent, that is the power derived from trust and respect. We could have the enough power to refer someone, right? And that person could actually stand a chance of candidature. So that is referent power. Informational power, that power is derived from controlling information, how much. So that is the power in personal capacity. But formal capacity, coercive power, that is the ability to punish or reward, the ability to issue rewards. Or a legitimate power, that is a formal right to issue commands, like a CEO, he has the legitimate power. Okay, so those are the different types of power, what power is and the different types of power. Benefits of MBO we already have discussed, not discussing again. Formal and informal organization. So what is a formal organization? It is an organization created by a management in the form of a structure of authority. It will definitely have its own rules and policies, and the authority will arise based on the position in the management hierarchy, right? But an informal organization, it is something that is born out of mutual relations, right? And emerges automatically, like a fan club. It is born out of the common love for some actor or some cricketer or something like that, right? Established through social relationships between if it is in an organization, employees, right? Authority can arise on the basis of personal qualities, like political parties. The reason why certain leaders come up is because of their personal qualities, right? People like them. So that is formal and informal organization. Types of managerial decisions, we had discussed it earlier. Line and staff relationship. Okay, so what is line and staff relationship? What is line? Line is directly or you can say directly advance in an organization in its core work. Okay, so the people who what you can say, the people who do the core work in an organization, that is called line staff, actually line staff. And who's the staff? Well, staff is the supporting people, okay, the organization, the people who support the organization with specialized advisory and support function. So they indirectly kind of like support the line function. So if you think about it, if you think about say a phone manufacturing company, your line staff will be the people who actually are working in the line to produce these phones. Could be the design team, could be the manufacturing team, it could be the assembly team. That is your line staff. And when we call about the staff, okay, that is your line employees. And then the people who you call staff is people who give you supporting functions, like your legal advisor, okay, so people like that is your staff. So what is this line and staff relationship? So line personnel carry out primary activities of a firm and are considered very much significant to the basic functioning of this organization, right? And line managers make majority of the decisions and direct this line staff or line personnel work to achieve the company goals, like a finance executive or the assembly manager, all those people, right? But the staff personnel contribute technical competence to the to support this line personnel and aid the top management in various business activities. So the staff members actually provide support and advice or knowledge to other individuals in the chain of command, like consultants and all. Though they are not part of the chain of command related to direct production of products or services, they do have authority over persons. Okay, so that is line and staff relationship. Okay, so the next is discuss the dynamics of group formation and various types of groups. Explain their influence on organizational function. Okay, so the different types of groups that could come up in an organization could be like command groups, okay, like chairman or faculty. Then the task group, that is people who work together to complete a task. There could be functional groups who accomplish specific goals. Interest groups, where groups are formed by people bound by common interest. Friendship groups, that is group of friends. Reference group for evaluating themselves. Groups can influence the individual members and attitudes of behavior. Okay, so the group we are in, will definitely form our ideas as well. So what is group? Group is a community that consists of one or more, not just one, more than one individuals who interact with each other to achieve goals. Okay, maybe it is a single goal or a set of goals. Okay, so the next question is briefly discuss the channels of communications and their impact on organization. Again, MMPC 7, business communication. You can borrow your answer from there. Explain types of managerial decisions. Describe any two models. We have already discussed it. Describe and discuss various tasks a manager has to perform to manage the organization. Again, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, everything. Whatever. It is like a summary of your MMPC 1. Write short notes on any three. Delegation, we have already discussed. Organizational culture, we have discussed. Interpersonal relations, we have discussed. Or you can take help from MMPC 7. Organizational conflicts, again, you can borrow from MMPC 7 or you can write it from your own understanding. Managerial ethos, we have already discussed. Okay, so with this, we are winding up MMPC 1. Around 6 years of question papers we have discussed so far, and there is a good chance that at least one of these questions could come in your term and examinations as well. Okay, so all the best, study well, and catch you in the next video. Bye bye.